Way back in 2013, I was 22 years old and wanted to sell an old computer I had. It wasn't good enough to take into a shop or anything. It was kind of a piece of junk that I thought someone else could find use of. At the time, Craigslist was the only place I really knew of that you could post and sell things on, and honestly, I'd never heard any bad things happen from it. It seemed like an easy access site that people nearby could get discounts from. I trusted the area I lived in as well, so I really had no second thoughts when I listed the PC on the site. It only took a day before I received an email from someone willing to pay me that listed price, assuming it worked as I said it did. I assured him he could test it out when he picked it up, and we set to do the exchange the following morning. He said his name was Cameron, and that he'd send me an email when he was on his way over. On the next day, I got up early and waited until 11 a.m. when he was supposed to show up. I was expecting his email to say he was coming, but he never sent anything. At 11:15, with still no email or signs of him coming, I decided to just open up the blinds and watch TV while keeping an eye outside in case he did show up. There was nothing until about 11:45. From the corner of my eye, I saw a car slowly coming down the road and up to the front of my house. They stopped right on the curb, keeping the car running. Thinking it was them, I paused the TV and waited, but several minutes passed and the car didn't move or turn off. Then they suddenly just turned back onto the road and drove away. I got up and went to the window, looking at the road and just really not understanding what that was. I didn't know if it was Cameron or just some random person that coincidentally stopped there for some reason. I closed the blinds and sent an email to Cameron asking if he was coming, but there was never any response. After an hour, I was done waiting and just went on with my day, forgetting about the whole thing. I had lunch and eventually dinner, then got in bed early around 9 p.m. because I had to work the next day. I fell asleep quickly, but woke up sometime after. I looked at the clock. It was only 11. It had barely been 2 hours. I closed my eyes again and tried to get back to sleep, but a very faint thump forced my eyes open again. I stayed laying there quietly, waiting to hear another so I could figure out what it was. Only a moment later, it came again. It was from somewhere downstairs, but it wasn't something I'd heard before. I had no idea what it could be. Worried there may be a problem with the house, I got up and went into the hallway, then over to the stairs, hearing it several more times as I made my way downstairs. It also started to get louder, being much more than just a quiet thump. I slowed down, stepping quietly through the kitchen, and turned the corner into the back hall. As I stared down the dim hallway, another thud rang through the house from directly at the end. When my eyes adjusted, I could see the faint outline of a figure moving outside the window. My heart stopped for a second, then another heavy thud shook the window, causing me to jump and step back. The figure stood still and faced the window. Then the shadow slowly became more clear as they leaned their face close, pressing against the glass as I saw their eyes lock on me. That moment of horror felt to have lasted for minutes, but I know it was only a second or two before they quickly backed up and sprinted away. I ran and called the police, but they had obviously gotten away by then. Despite it seeming like an easy case of it being the man from Craigslist, Cameron, it wasn't so simple. There really was no evidence of it being him, other than it happening on the same day I was supposed to meet him. I don't know what they wanted either, but the bolt holding the window down had divots on the outside, as if they were trying to break it out of the window seal. I never found out anything else, but I also never took to using Craigslist again.